Assalamualaikum everyone. In this video, we'll see some of the advantages of database management system over file-based system. Okay. The first one is centralized data. In DBMS, database management system, the data is kept at a centralized location. Okay. And anyone, anywhere across the world at any time can access the data. Okay. I'm repeating, the data is kept at a centralized location. Okay. And anyone, anywhere across the world can access that data at any point of time. But in file-based system, this is not the case. See, we know that in file-based system, the data is stored in the form of files, and that files is stored on computer, obviously. Suppose it is my organization. So that database, who can access the database? Only I can access the database, or the people of my organization can access that database, isn't it? Let's take an example of a bank. Okay. If you want to know the details of your bank account, if you want to know what balance you are having or what transactions have been made, if you want to know that, then what? You will have to go to the bank and request the bank official to give the statement of your account, isn't it? Suppose, and when you need to do it during the banking hours only. Suppose if you miss the banking hours, then what? You will have to wait for a whole another day to come. Then you can go and request the bank official for your bank account details. Okay. So the data is in database management system, the data is no longer kept with me. It is kept at a centralized location, and anyone across the world at any time can access the data. So this is one advantage that we have in database management system, a benefit that we have in database management system. Okay. The next one, data redundancy. Data redundancy is nothing but duplication of data. Okay. Data duplication can be done either by a mistake or either purposefully. Okay, by mistake or purposefully. Suppose if I'm storing the data of 100 students, okay, there are some chances that I can write the same data twice or thrice. Okay, the same details twice and thrice. And in file-based system, there is no such mechanism or protocol that will stop me from doing so. It will not give me any warning or a message saying that I'm writing the same data again. Okay, in file-based system. This is one thing. And the other thing, suppose if I'm storing the data purposefully, okay, if I have to store the details of students, if I'm storing the details of students in one file, and another file, if I'm storing the details of the student along with some additional information, for example. So what's happening here? The details are being duplicated. Okay, the same details are stored in one file, and the same details are stored in another file, isn't it? The data is being duplicated here. So what? I want to store the data again, so I stored the data. What's the problem here? The problem here is the data will become inconsistent. If the data is duplicate, the data will become inconsistent, isn't it? Suppose if you are changing the address or the phone number, okay, if you're changing the address or phone number in one file, and suppose you forget to change that address or phone number in another file, what happens? Data inconsistency is happening, right? When you're retrieving the data back, you'll be confused as to which is correct and which is wrong. So what's happening? Because of data redundancy, because of data duplication, the data is getting inconsistent. Okay. And in file-based system, there is no such mechanism or protocol that will give me a message or show me a warning that the data is being duplicated. But in database management system, the data is stored in a unique fashion. Okay. The data is stored uniquely. And if I want to store the same data again, then what is the process? What do I need to do? We'll study that in detail in the coming videos. Okay, when we study about these topics, we'll study in detail. Okay, but in DBMS, there is a benefit that the data will be stored uniquely because there is no duplication. There will be no inconsistency in data. Okay, clear? Next, data isolation. See, the data in file-based system, the data is scattered in many different files. Okay. Let's take an example. See, suppose I've got different files for different subjects. Okay, I've got marks for DBMS. If I'm storing the marks, suppose DBMS will have a different file. Suppose the marks of DBMS are stored in one file, and the marks of operating system are stored in some other file, and the marks of data structures are stored in some other file. Okay, and if I want to create one file which will contain all these three marks. Okay, one final mark sheet if I want to create. Okay, if I want to make a file, a mark sheet that will contain all these three marks, then what do I need to do? I need to first know where these files are located. First, I need to know the names of these files. Okay, not necessary the names will be DBMS, OS and DS. Even though it is DBMS, OS and DS, you will have to know it, right? You will have to know the name of the file, the location where is it present. Okay, you will have to do all this analysis before you finally club it into one, isn't it? You will have to know the metadata of the data. You will have to know the metadata. Metadata is nothing but data about the data. This is your data. You will have to know about its data, about its name, about its location, the attributes, right? This is nothing but metadata. So because the data is scattered in many different files, I will have to do a lot of analysis before I store it in one file. Okay, before I perform any operation, I will have to do a lot of analysis. So this is one problem that I'm facing in file-based system, but in database management system, this is not the case. Next one, security problem. See, security problems can be of two types. One is like an unauthorized person is getting access to the data. One is that unauthorized person should not get the access. One is that, and second is that an authorized person also should get a limited access to the data. Okay, there should be a restriction that only he can see this piece of data, he cannot see the rest piece of data, right? They are these two things. In file-based system, okay, we'll see an example. Suppose if I am a student, okay, and I'm accessing the database of a university, then I should be only allowed to see the courses that the university is offering, or the events that are happening in the university, or the library, the books that I have in the library. I should only be able to see these information, but I should be restricted to what the faculty details or some confidential data that the university is having. I should not be able to see the salary of those teachers, right? I should be restricted to that, isn't it? That is one thing. Okay, so in file-based system, what happens? There is no such security. See, the files are stored on the computer, isn't it? Computer or laptop or your mobile phone, the files will be stored there. So when you open your laptop, or your computer or your phone, he'll ask you for a password, right? That's the maximum security that you're getting in file-based system. If your files are stored on a computer, that's the maximum security that you're getting. Okay, chalo, if your files, if suppose your files are having logs, if I get to know the passwords of the logs, then what? I'll be able to access the entire file, isn't it? The data that I want, the data that I don't want. Okay, but in database management system, this is not the case. Next, atomicity problem. The best example I can give you about atomicity problem is transactions. Okay, while you're making transaction, what do you want? Either your transaction should happen completely or it should not happen at all. Okay, that's right. See, if you're withdrawing some amount from an ATM, okay, what you will do? You will insert the card. You will select a language, you will enter the PIN, then you will enter the amount that you want, and then after that you will get the amount, isn't it? So for example, your transaction fails at the fourth step. Suppose you have inserted the card, you inserted you selected the language, the PIN, the amount, everything is done. At the last step, the transaction fails. What happens? It is showing that from your account so and so amount of money has been withdrawn, but you did not get the money. So that's a issue, right? That's a problem. So what do you want? Your transaction, it should either happen completely or it should not happen at all. That's what you want, right? So there are some mechanism or protocols in database management system which will help you in this. The next is concurrent access anomalies. Concurrent access means what? Simultaneous access, isn't it? See, we'll take an example of ticket reservation of an airline for a flight. Suppose there are two persons who are competing for a last seat available. So what the database should do? It should grant the access to one person and send a message saying that your request cannot be fulfilled, or it should not grant the access to the other one. Okay, it should grant the access to one and restrict the access to the another one. This is what the database should do. But in file-based system, this is not possible, isn't it? But in database management system, this is possible. The next is integrity problems. Integrity problems means, see, we apply some constraints to our data. Constraints matlab restrictions, some rules. We apply some rules to our data. Suppose, for example, we'll talk about phone number. Phone number will only have digits. It will not have alphabets or any symbols, okay, any special character. So if you are entering in file-based system, if you are entering the data, if you are entering this, if you are entering phone number, and suppose if you enter instead of digit or by mistake, if you enter some special characters or you enter alphabets, so what happens? The data will be stored. Okay, there is no such protocol that will stop you from doing so. But in database management system, this is not the case. You will be applying some constraints or rules. Okay, you will say that when you are entering in the database management system, suppose when you are entering the mobile number or your roll number, you should only enter the digits. Okay, so what happens here? You will apply a constraint, a rule. Okay, so while you are entering, if suppose by mistake if you enter a special character or an alphabet, it will give you a warning or a caution or a message that will say that the phone number or the roll number should not contain alphabets or should not contain special characters. Okay, so these are some the rules or constraints that DBMS will have. Okay, there is a feature in DBMS that will allow you to do so. Okay, okay, one thing here is, see, database management system has all these benefits. That does not mean that you are not using file-based system anymore. You are using file-based system. See, on your laptops, on your computers, on your phones, you have files, isn't it? You are storing data in files. If there is small data, small amount of data, okay, if you're storing the details about your daily routine, if you're storing, suppose like that, or if you're storing birthdays of your friends or like that, or any kind of small data if you're storing, you can store it in files, right? You don't need such a big software. You don't need it, isn't it? So according to your data, you can choose which you want, which system you want. You can go for a file-based system. You can go for a database management system. Okay. The thing I want to say here is, though these these benefits in database management system, or these are the drawbacks in file-based system, it's not like I'm not using file-based system anymore. Okay, so this was the point that though I have got all these benefits in database management system, I don't use it everywhere. If I have to store some small amount of data, I'll store it in files. Okay, if I have to store the notes, my semester notes, I'll store it in files. Okay, I don't need a DBMS for that. Okay, so that's it about this video. I think this topic is clear for you. Okay, now see, the DBMS is done, the benefits is seen. Now what? The next is, we should know how the DBMS works, the architecture, isn't it? So we'll see that in the next video.